What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the day we got to put this truck back together. If you saw the last video, we got this thing cut and buffed. This thing is looking so good. Now this clear coat is a little bit soft still, so we didn't go all the way up to our final polish on the paint. So we're gonna let that sit for a while. I want to let this thing gas out, and if it's gonna shrink, I want it to shrink before we go through and polish it, just because sometimes it can kind of shrink and show some of the scratches again. So if that happens, you got to go through and touch those spots up, buff them out again, and then you can go through and do your polish. So what the game plan is for today, I want to get this truck all back together. So I'm going to start with the bed, get the bed on and get all that figured out. And then we got to put the doors together, get the windows in, the interior still torn apart. We got to get the headliner in, all that fun stuff. So we got a ton of work ahead of us. Also, there's not a whole lot of room in the shop. So after I get this bed on and make a little bit of space in here, I may go through and tear out this paint booth just because I'm not going to need it. It is taking up so much space. So I want to get this thing out of here, and it'll give me a lot more room to get this truck back together. But either way, the bed's kind of in an awkward spot. It's just taking up room. So let's get the bed back on, and then we'll figure out where we go from there. We are getting this thing back together, and I gotta say, this is gonna look so freaking good when we're done. Next thing I got to jump on is taillights. So I picked up a new set of taillights actually. Not a huge fan of these like bubble looking ones. I think they're pretty ugly. So I picked up these. These are actually for 95 to 2000. The light themselves are identical to 01 to 04. The only difference is on the plug-in here, it's wired just a little bit different. You can see it's a 6-pin plug, but it's only got 5 pins in it. On the 01 and up, it's got 6 pins. So what you got to do is pull one of these pins out. You'll put it in this connector here, and then you'll splice that into, I believe this side, you splice into the black, so you ground that one, and the other side, I believe it's the middle pin here on the top. But when I get to wiring that, I'll show you exactly what goes where to make these things work on the newer truck. And then also, this is for the canopy for the light up there. So I'm going to swap this over to the new taillights, and then we'll get the wired in, get those things on, and see if we can get them to work. All right, guys, this is super simple. So this is the right side taillight, and you can see it's the bottom left, looking at it this way, that's missing a pin. So on the back of that, you can see that jumper wire right here. So that just connects from there up to that one. So we're gonna pull that wire out, cut it, and then we'll just splice it into one of these wires here. That is just for a ground. And looking at this side, looking at this way, we are at the bottom left. So bottom left, it is that green wire. You can see it is jumped from that pin to the top center pin. So that is very easy to do. We'll just pull these pins out. You just got to depress a little clip on top of the pin there. You should be able to pull it out. We'll splice those in with a jumper wire. We'll swap this over, and we'll throw those things in and see if they work. All right, we got to get this rear window in. So I should be able to get this by myself because it's a sliding glass, so I can open the window and kind of stick my hand through. What you got to do is take some rope, and this lip right here, this sits in between the body. So what you got to do is stick the rope inside of that groove there, and then when you get inside the truck, get the window in and pull this rope out, it'll kind of fold that lip of the seal over the lip of the body here. So we just got to get that just right on this little pinch weld here seam. We got to get that sitting in this window. So it's honestly really easy to do. What you kind of got to do is set the bottom in, get that somewhat set in place, and then leave the rope at the bottom here, and then just start working your way around the window, and you should be able to get it. It's really not too hard. So let's see if we can get this by myself. Just like that, guys, window popped right in, no issues. While we're working on windows, I picked up a little bit of tint here. So this I just picked up on eBay. I believe this was Lumar brand, this 20%. Supposed to be pretty decent tint. So I've never actually tinted windows myself. I've always had it done at a shop, but I figured while these windows are out, they'll probably be super easy to tint. So let's get this stuff cut up, hopefully. Oh yeah, that's tall enough. I was worried it looked a little short. Let's get it cut up and see if we can't get this tinted. All right, we are looking good, looking like a truck again. So we are pretty much back together. A couple things on the inside. I did buy another mirror. I am going to pull that off. That's why I ran these wires, because we got to run a temp sensor up front, and then we got to run some power up to our new mirror. So I'll show you that in a second. And then we got to do something with these mirrors. So these are bare plastic, and they're just kind of faded looking. They're not that great looking. So what we're going to do, we're going to wash those up, and we're going to treat those with this Cerakote trim coat. So I've never actually used this. It's supposed to be really good for like bare plastics. You're not supposed to use it on anything painted, but bare plastic like this, it should work really good. Also, I might coat that cowl right there. That's looking pretty faded as well. So basically what this is a ceramic coating for plastics. And they say, yeah, they say right here, one coat lasts for 200 washes or more. So we're gonna try it out. I've never used this stuff. What they say to do is scrub them down with some Dawn dish soap, just kind of getting waxes or oil, grease, anything that's on there, get them nice and clean. So we're going to scrub those up, and then this is super easy. There's just wipes that you just wipe it down and you are done. So this is the mirror we got. This is a Gentex mirror. I think these came on the GM trucks or something, but it's got home link, it's got compass and temperature. If you buy this, you got to make sure you get the temp sensor right here with the wiring. Make sure you get the little pigtail, and then on this one it came with the little wiring protector that will go onto the windshield. So I'm not sure if I'm using that yet. We still got to figure out, get that mounted up. What I got in here is just a mount kit. So there's the adhesive, and then the little puck or whatever, the mounting plate right there. So we're going to get that glued on, but we're going to do that a little bit later. So let's get these mirrors and cowl coated. All right, we got everything coated, so you can see it's starting to dry up. That's why it looks a little splotchy. So they say it takes about an hour to kind of dry off. So we'll come back in about an hour and check them out. These mirrors look a lot more glossy, just because I think it was a lot smoother plastic. This stuff was kind of a coarse and porous plastic, whereas these mirrors, I believe it's a actual black plastic. I don't think there's any paint or anything on it, but it's just a lot smoother. So those actually might look pretty good being a little shinier like that. Alright guys, it's been a couple hours now. This stuff is dried up and you can see it's all nice and uniform and even. And the best thing is it looks brand new. It really changed the look of this plastic, actually made it back to black, and it's not faded at all. And like I said on these mirrors, these ones turned out a lot more shiny than that cowl did. So you can see there it's got quite a bit of shine, which I am honestly liking. I like the look of that. So let's get these back together. Let's get the cowl back on and we can throw the mirrors back on. If you guys want to check out this trim coat, I'll have a link to their actual website. You can also find this stuff at Amazon. I'll link that as well. And these are actually in Walmart stores. So if you have a Walmart close to you, you can run down there and pick up a kit. So they say this 10 wipe kit should be enough to do your average car or truck. They say some big trucks might take more, but it's only 20 bucks a kit. That's very, very good priced. For this cowl and these mirrors, I only used 2 wipes. This cowl did take a little bit of time just because there's all those little ridges, and it probably just dried out a little bit faster. Probably could have done both with 1 wipe. But like I said, it's only 20 bucks for an entire kit. So go check it out, Walmart, Amazon, and I'll have a link to their actual website. All right, guys, we are making progress. We are just about done. So I got the mount glued on there. I'm gonna give that probably another hour just to make sure that glue is cured up, because I don't want to have to redo that. But we got everything wired in here, as you can see. So I kind of just cut a little slit into here for the wiring to run up in there, because I'm still gonna run obviously the map light there. So let's crank the ignition on here, if I can find my keys. And we'll see if the mirror has power. There it is. So you can see, got the compass and the temperature there. Also, I do have home link, so I can hook this up to my garage door. And I think this one's auto dimming. It should be. I think that's a sensor right, focus right there, that little black square. I think that's a sensor for the auto dim. Alright guys, there we go, mirror is in. If you guys put this mirror in your trucks, you gotta be very, very picky about where you put that mounting plate. You can see it is very close. This side's barely touching. That side is, it's got about an 1/8 inch of room. So very, very close, but this thing is gonna be nice with the temp, the auto dim, and it's just a bigger mirror. So I am stoked with that. One last thing I want to do is seal up these rails again. You guys know I wasn't able to get these off when I painted it, and honestly I think what happened with why that white is showing through is I didn't get all the silicone off from when they sealed it before, and the paint didn't stick to it. So what I'm going to do is tape on either side a nice straight line, and I got some black seam sealer, that stuff right there, so that is going to kind of blend in and it'll match the rails, and that stuff works so good for sealing. So let's clean it real quick, mask it off, we'll seam seal it, and then we'll pull our tape. And I want to get this canopy back on the truck and see how everything looks together. There we go, guys. Got the truck outside. We are 100% done and back together, looking like a brand new truck. This thing looks so good outside. There's no sun right now, so you can't really get a good look at the metallics. I had it out the other day and it looks amazing in the sun with the metallics. They really pop, they really look good. So that is a wrap for the paint job.